Hey everyone,
Hello.
welcome to the Pastor's Chat here at Calvary BFC in Coopersburg.
Still in room 104. Welcome, everybody.
Yes, it has changed a lot and it's been fun.
Oh, this background keeps changing. It's great.
I like this one.
Yeah, this is good.
I like the yellow.
Mm-hmm.
There are creative minds in this church that bring all these colors together.
Yeah,
So
I never know what we're going to walk into.
right. I'm just thankful it's not me that makes these decisions because
And everyone's thankful that it's not me.
absolutely both either one of us for these things. So apparently.
Yes.
Well, today for our conversation, our chat, we're going to give you a little bit, hear a little bit about ourselves. We'll give you a building update. Then we're going to talk a little bit about just the church experience and how we have been feeling about this and how the elders have been, the discussions that have taken place to get to where we are. And then we're going to end with just a quick little what's coming this Sunday. Okay. So starting off, what weird things do you do that have been pointed out to you by either your family or others? Dave said he has a lot, but we're going to hone it into maybe.
We're just going to do maybe one.
There we go.
Okay, because I mean we can come back to this question every week for months if you want, but I'll give you just one. These are things I wonder. Will my family share like at my funeral or something and say you never knew this about him, but when I put on my socks in the morning or any time of day.
That's a great start.
Yes, that's a great start, isn't it? I don't just slide them on. I slide them through my toes first.
Wait, okay, hold on.
Yeah, just run them through like a ribbon blanket in your fingers, but run them through my toes first.
You run them through your I'm trying to understand. So you take the sock.
I take the sock
and run it between
at least between my big toe and the next one, maybe through all of them.
I admire your boldness too.
Hey, vulnerability, baby.
There you go. That's fun. I'm gonna try that one morning.
Okay. So, yeah, you'll.
Well, maybe then I'll be
careful. You'll be addicted to it then.
Mine is more. Some people might be with this. I tend to always have. I'm always like humming something. So like almost like the last thing I either heard, or sometimes I'll wake up and something weird. It could be the oddest song is in my head, but I'm always like randomly singing stuff constantly. And when I say that, I mean constantly. That my wife will be like, "Stop singing." But additionally, the problem with it'd be nice if it was like, you if the lyrics matched up, but I tend to always sing the wrong lyrics constantly.
So you just create new ones.
Yeah.
So it's like you're an author.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But that's one of the odd ones, and I have many others too. But they're more like the more I tend to just laugh. I'm a tapper. So I always say that the people that have a lot of pet peeves, I'm the one that hits all of them.
Drive people nuts, in other words.
There you go. Well, moving on here, we have a building update, and it comes back to we had our virtual congregational meeting, and multiple people had asked the question about the water line. So
yes. So just a couple of updates for prayer. Next, Tuesday, July 7th, the Coopersburg Borough, has a meeting in which our building expansion committee gets to present to them, and our engineers get to present to them our plans for how to tap into the water line without spending $250,000. And
that'd be good.
Yeah, that would be really good. And we've been getting feedback on that. We've had some very positive feedback from people in the borough that are, needing to sign off on these things, but we haven't had them all in the room yet to make the decision. And so that is taking place next Tuesday night. And so pray that we'd have favor in their eyes. Pray that the proposed solution, which is much, 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 much cheaper, would be received, or some variation of the much cheaper solution would be received. And so it's positive looking right now.
That's great. So that's Tuesday, July 7th.
But then I'll add this, not for the borough or the water, but on Monday, July 13th, just the following Monday, we go before I get them all confused, but the next step in the permitting stage. Yeah. And this is pretty close to the end, where they're supposed to hopefully, prayerfully give us conditional approval. We've already gotten the first level of conditional approval, I think, from the Planning Commission, and now we need the next step, which, again, our architects and our engineers are very positive that we have everything in line. They've been in discussions and presenting all of their materials so far, but that's when the official meeting takes place. So again, pray for God's favor on that.
Yeah, and we thank you for your continued prayers. I know our church has been praying hard on this, and we've been seeing the Lord work, and we trust that He'll continue to do great things in all this.
Now, let me ask. You said you do a lot of humming, you do a lot of singing. Now, this last Sunday was a different type of experience for all of us that were in the building on Sunday. For 3.5 months, it's been very few of us in the building, and I've preached to a basically empty room, minus the tech people or whatever. And then this week, we had the beginnings of people returning, and I mean, you were there, I was there.
Yeah.
40 or 50 other people were there, and we had masks on, and we were encouraged to hum instead of sing the words, so you didn't have to invent any new words for the songs. The words were up on the screen. What was that experience like for you? How did you feel?
Well, you know, as this has been very difficult on everyone, and it's really hard for us how to handle it. It's been, you know, all of us have been seeing that we've been taking our how we feel about it, how we stand on it we've been all different. We've been different. So some people were more comfortable and want to say like, oh, we want to go and we want to go out and do what we were going to like and be unmasked, where some people were saying, no, I really am nervous and fearful. And that even the decision for the elders to come and make the conclusions we have was very difficult.
Sure.
So here we are. So we come to Sunday and we are wearing and we're saying that it's the wisest decision right now to love our community, to love our people, is for us to have masks on. And the hardest one I had struggle with is the one he just said, is that we have made a decision that, hey, we're going to play the music during the service, but we're going to listen only. And I want to be honest that was difficult for me to grasp now, but I understand why we made that decision. But it was funny. Dave and I were talking that initially I had already made the decision, hey, I want to stand so that I feel like I'm readying myself to worship the Lord. I accidentally, for the first 10 seconds.
Oh, it was longer.
Oh, was it? Dave was listening. I accidentally sang.
I don't know about that. Sorry.
No, I stood for a whole song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I accidentally started off and I sang a little bit.
I didn't even hear you.
And I was like, oops. And it's because it's so
it's what we've done all our lives.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not wrong at this point that we're not singing, but it was very difficult for myself to just say, you're going to hum. And it was hard for me. And I think it's important to recognize that for all of us, this is really difficult. Yeah. For the people that are at home right now, it's difficult and upsetting that we're still home and not back together with our people. And even the room, I said that it's funny that my emotions were all over the place on Sunday. Even the fact that I said to someone, I forget who I was talking to, but I said, I was kind of indifferent about the fact that the people were back in the room again because I got so it got so odd that we were just so used to nobody being there. And my energy was so thankful that they were there, but I realized my mind, I had just gotten accustomed to something odd and weird. But man, it was so good. My wife said to me that she could tell how energized I was that people were back in the room. And it truly,
But it's so strange.
Yeah.
Because for 150 years, our congregation has met in a certain way. And none of us have been around for 150 years.
Yes.
But those of us that have gone to church all of our lives have had a basic expectation of this is what church is like. And then that all changed completely 3.5 months ago. And so now we get into, really, that was the new normal, right? For 3.5 months, it was, this is how we do it. We stay home. And so now we're changing again. We didn't go back to what we've had all our lives, and we didn't stick with just what we've done for 3.5 months. Now we've gone somewhere else. And so change is hard.
Yeah,
Change is hard.
it's very difficult, and I think it is so important to recognize, like, we don't. There's not a perfect answer.
No.
There really is not a perfect answer. There's not the best. The only thing that the elders had done over this time is prayerfully gone to the Lord, sought the wisdom.
Yep.
So did some talking with our safety committee here, did some best decisions, looked at other churches, looked at God's word, looked at our main purpose. We say it every Sunday morning.
Yep.
We're followers of Jesus, right? That want to help others follow Jesus, and said, how are we best going to do that for our followers here at Calvary and for the ones that are not here yet? And that decision was difficult. Like Dave and I said, that I wanted to sing, right? But I think that was the wisest decision, as everything was looked like, to right now, as we're still, it's uncharted.
Yeah.
That was it. But who knows? In a few weeks, as we keep thinking through this.
That's the thing with Uncharted. You keep moving and it keeps changing.
Yes.
So we'll get somewhere else soon.
And it's going to be difficult to handle those changes each time, not just for the congregation and those listening right now, but for Dave, myself, and everyone out there, that the changes impact us all.
They do.
But we trusting the Lord, we're praying, and we're following His scriptures. We're following His word, and love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Christ said, and He said, like the second one right away was that loving others.
Can I give a shout out to a few groups here?
Go for it.
Because wow, in the last few weeks, people have really had to come through for all of us. So our tech team, I mean, we had people taking time off work in order to make it so that there could be people in the room while we were still live streaming, and try and merge all these different systems and computers and sound, and getting microphones moved and getting cameras moved and getting lights moved. Just so much going on there. Our communications team and letting everybody know. I mean, it was kind of turn on a dime and say, here we go. We've got to do, we're on to the next thing.
Additionally, thank the communications team that during all of this stress, they've been trying to create avenues for us to be able to, they rub shoulders, to talk with each other. And I really genuinely have enjoyed, a lot of our people have been answering and having fun on our social media.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then as we came back together last week, we had the ushers and the safety and the welcoming, and all of them were, all of the leaders of those ministries were also trying to say, okay, who is ready to be here? Who can volunteer? Who can help us? And we just had so many people who were willing. And then everybody that came was a matter of saying, hey, we're walking into something that we've never walked into before, and just saying, okay, we've got as much information as we have. We're going to kind of work with what we have and see how it goes.
And I was walking around the congregation a little bit, and I had some great conversations with people from our congregation. And one of my favorite ones was somebody, we're all wearing this. It's a little uncomfortable. We're in masks. It's really odd. And they said, I am just so thankful to be back in this building. And it was almost like, whatever that is it takes for me to be here, I'm here to worship the Lord.
And we'll keep on praying that in the near future, everyone will be able to be back in that building together. We recognize there are just some people that fall into a risk category, that it's not safe yet. And we want to let you know that we understand that some of you, the ones that are having to choose to stay home, whether it's for your children or whether it's just too difficult with the things that we have in place for us right now, that we know that it's really hard to keep doing this. And we love you. We miss everyone. It was so great to see a few. We hope for a few more this Sunday. And we're continuing to evaluate. We've got a small team just in place saying, okay, how can we, when is the right time that we can continue to evolve to the next step?
Yeah, because we came out with that document, and if you didn't see that, you can find it. But that document wasn't perfect, right? The one we
do
wrote.
Things imperfectly. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Right,
we knew it,
and right from the start, the elders had said that we're going to have to keep reevaluating.
We said this is where we are at today, the day the document is published.
Yeah.
but it could change tomorrow.
So encouragement, pray with us.
Please.
These decisions are hard. And then as a body, as a church, as we handle all this, let's come together just for loving Christ and trying to bring others to follow him. And even as we all are emotionally handling things differently, let's come together and be of one mind and of one spirit as we follow our Savior, Jesus Christ.
Great.
And for this Sunday, here we go.
We come together, and I think this is very appropriate. In Ezra chapter 7 and 8 is our passage this week. And in that passage, we see people who have returned to what their new normal is from a brokenness of exile, decades away from really being able to worship God the way they intended. And they get back, and there's this overflowing sense of appreciation, of gratitude for what God had done for them. They still weren't all the way back to where they wanted to be, but they took some time to recognize God's amazing grace. And several times throughout that passage, Ezra points out that God's good hand, God's favor had been on them so that they could get to that point. And so the people then took time to appreciate him. So we're going to be talking about rebuilding appreciation and encouraging ourselves to appreciate the ways that God has blessed us, both in this here and now time, but also how he has blessed us for eternity through Christ and through the gospel.
I think it's going to be a great message because I think that's when we're in life, the scriptures tell us that even in the hardest moments, in the greatest moments, what's he say? Rejoice in the Lord always. Again,
always.
I say rejoice. That's how our prayers, we go before him in thankfulness, or you could say with appreciation.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, I look forward to that message. So join us this Sunday for Rebuild Appreciation. So, well, we thank you for joining us on our Pastors Chats, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.